Well, welcome back everyone, it's Halo 4 Tutor with another Halo gameplay commentary. This time around, I'm sharing my own gameplay as well as some signature tips and tricks that will help you take your game to the next level. The great thing about the tips I'm going to give you today is they're applicable to all Halo games, from Halo 3, Halo Reach, into Halo 4. So if you're planning on picking up that Halo 4 game later this year when it comes out, you're going to want to make sure that you've watched this video and mastered the tips that I'm going to give you so that when Halo 4 comes out, you're going to be ahead of the curve and you're going to be beating all of your friends in the new Halo 4 game types. So let's get started here. I'm playing on MLG Sanctuary, which if you don't recognize the map, it's only an MLG playlist. So if you don't play MLG much, you may not recognize it, but it is a remake of the map Asylum, which is very popular in most playlists. So if you know Asylum, you may recognize this map pretty quickly. I do need to point out that the game is a 4-on-3 game where my team's only got 3 players, the opponents have 4 players, so that really affects the way that the game plays out. Most notably, you'll see that we're pinned down in our base for the bulk of the gameplay. So we do have some disadvantages that we're dealing with, but despite all that, I do manage to be the top player in the game with 40 kills and just 15 deaths for a kill-death spread of plus 25. So anytime I go plus 25 in a game, I'm going to be happy. On top of that, I pick up 24 headshots throughout the game, which, you know, I'm very, very satisfied if I'm able to do that as well. So I think you guys are really going to enjoy this gameplay, and I've got some fantastic tips for you. So let's jump right on in there. You know, I want to borrow some tips from one of my very favorite athletes, who is Peyton Manning. If you don't know who Peyton Manning is, he's a quarterback in the American National Football League. Used to play for the Indianapolis Colts. Now he plays for the Denver Broncos. And whether you like him or whether you don't, there's no denying that he has, you know, superior talent and skill. He wins a lot of games, and he's very, very good at what he does. He's one of my favorite players. And the reason that he is so good at football is that he studies more than anyone else in the game. He just absolutely locks himself in the film room and just studies game after game after game, so that when he actually goes in to play a game, you know, for every hour that he actually plays football, he's studying football for like 10 hours, right? It's like a 10-to-1 ratio. So that it doesn't matter if his team, you know, if his opponents have more skill than his team, or, you know, if he's at any kind of disadvantage, it doesn't matter, because he's put in more time and effort in between games, and that gives him a superior advantage when the games actually arrive. And that's what I want to encourage you to do today, is to develop a habit of routinely going into the theater and studying the games that you play, as well as watching your opponent's films. All right, I know that you like watching games because you're sitting here watching this video right now, so I know that you like watching, but a lot of times you don't want to go back and rewatch your own games. You know, you may think, oh, I played that game, why do I need to go back and watch it, for heaven's sakes? But that's a really novice attitude. With an attitude like that, you're really going to find your skills plateauing at some point, because there's only so much that you can learn by watching my channel and other Halo channels online. You really can learn more about your own game and how to improve your own game by going in and watching your own games and picking up details that you may have missed during the fast-paced action. Now, watch, I want to point out this combination here. I'm helping my teammate out. I get 1 kill with a body shot DMR, double kill with a headshot here, get the melee attack, and finish him off with a triple kill headshot there for a real stellar combination. Just wanted to point that out and call it out while it happened. But going back, when you go back into the theater and you're looking at your own games, I will point out here too that I'm leading the game here with 19 kills, and score is pretty close despite the aforementioned disadvantages that we have during the game. But when you go back and watch your own gameplay, you know, take a look at different portions of the game and figure out, you know, were you too passive at some points? Did you really, would it have paid off if you went out there and got more aggressive? Maybe at other times you might realize, hey, I was too aggressive at that point in the game. I really should have fallen back a little bit, let my shields recharge, and given my teammates an opportunity to help me out. Also, look for just general mistakes that you may have made. You know, are there points in the game when you think, hey, you know, I really shouldn't have gone up that lift or gone through that teleporter because I had no idea what was on the other side and I got creamed when I went up or went through. You know, or, you know, I was using the wrong armor ability. I really should have switched my armor ability up. You know, or, you know, I just was not using enough cover. I was not playing defense, and, you know, my team lost the game because of it. Go back and look for things like this because, you know, in the heat of the game, things are very fast-paced. You're not going to catch everything, and you're not going to be able to see every point in the game when you could have made a play but missed an opportunity to do so. So go back and look at that. At the same time, and possibly even more importantly, you want to go back and watch your opponent's games, okay? Because your opponents can teach you so much. Because, you know how you like to play, you know where you like to go, you know what weapons you like to use. But that's only one way of playing, right? Your opponents can teach you so much. Here's what I want you to do. Next time you play a game, and somebody on the other team absolutely goes off and just scores a ton of points or has a fantastic game, go back and watch that game. Even if you don't do it right away, save it in your local films. You probably have enough room for thousands of these films if you want to save them. But save that film, go back and rewatch what your opponent is doing. Look for his tendencies, right? Where is he going on the map? What weapons is he using? What armor abilities is he using? What in the world did he do that allowed him to have a really killer game like he did? And I guarantee that every single time you do this, you're going to pick up something that you never even thought of before, that you couldn't have imagined on your own. And you just picked it up in a couple minutes by watching somebody else's gameplay. And, you know, I guarantee that if you make a habit of doing this, of going into the theater and watching your films and your opponent's films, you make it a habit of doing this, and it's really going to pay off, especially as Halo 4 comes out. You're going to be able to go into the theater and pick up tips for all these new maps, because there's going to be all these new maps, and you're not going to know where to go, you're not going to know where the weapons are, you're not going to know what to do. And if you go back and watch other people who have been successful, you're going to be really ahead of the curve, and I guarantee that you are going to be the best player on your friends list. Everybody's going to want to play with you because you're going to know where all the weapons are, you're going to want to know all the best spots on the map, you're going to know how to act, how to behave, and you're really going to be at a superior advantage. Now, one thing I want to identify when you're playing a sniper's game, anticipation is absolutely huge, and I have a really good example of anticipation here. I'm in a 2-on-1 situation, I'm really pinned down, I get stuck back in this tunnel, and I know that the only way I'm going to escape alive is by getting a really good sniper shot. So I line it up, and right as they come around the corner, I get a headshot, absolutely nail it. I'm able to come out, push up hard, and pick up the second kill with the DMR headshot. And when you're playing with snipers, especially if the opponents have snipers as well, anticipation is one of the most important skills that you can develop, and one of the most important techniques that you can use. And in fact, I want you to go back and rewatch this game after you've watched it once. Go back and rewatch the game and try to identify the very best plays that I make throughout the game. Right, some of the plays are in my opinion very good. I get some really nice no scopes and quick scopes. You know, they're not all perfect shots by any means, but I do get some nice shots. Go back and decide which shots were the very best, and you'll notice that in almost every instance I was able to get those shots because of excellent anticipation. Right, and the shots that I missed is because I failed to anticipate where my opponents were going to be moving, where they were going to be shooting from. So go back and, you know, in fact, leave a comment down below, you know, what was the very best play of the game, and, you know, go back and try to identify how I was able to anticipate where my opponents were going to be and line up that shot. I get a real nice sniper there on the active camo player. You know, in my opinion, that was excellent anticipation. Go back and tell me what play you believe was the best, and, you know, if I was able to use some anticipation there. Keep an eye out here. I pick up one of my favorite all-time assassinations. My opponent's getting assassinated, and I come in and get an assassination of my own. I want to thank y'all for watching today. I absolutely guarantee that if you make it a habit of going into the theater and watching your own films as well as the films of your opponents, you're really going to be ahead of the curve. You're going to be able to pick up skills that your friends and your opponents are not gaining. and you're really going to have a serious advantage. When you're down in the comments, make sure to let me know what play you liked most during the game. And while you're there, let me know what map from Halo 3 or Halo Reach would you like to see remade and brought back for Halo 4. Anyway, thank y'all for watching today. This is Halo Reach Tutor signing out. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you next time.